Today on The Young and the Restless, Victoria tries to get Nikki on her side, Nick returns to Sally, and Adam strikes a deal with Jack. At Newman, Victor is on the phone dictating a press release on his return as Nate arrives in the doorway. He wanted to see how Victor was settling in. Victor chuckles. Nate prepares to leave again, but Victor wants to ask him a few questions about Adam. Jack meets Adam at the athletic club. Adam congratulates him on his marriage to Diane. Jack appreciates that and wants the best for him as well. Adam admits things have been rough since he got fired from Newman. Talk turns to Tucker and whatever dirt Adam may have on him. Adam asks, "How interested are you?" Jack says, "Enough to pay for it, within reason." He tells Adam to get right to the point, name your price. Adam has been thinking about what he would want in return. Right now they have nothing that benefits him. Jack asks if he's having second thoughts about leaving Jabot. Adam tells him he wasn't cut out for his company. He admits he may have sabotaged a good thing. Adam doesn't want money for the information on Tucker. Jack suggests he give it to him, no strings attached, just for the pleasure of watching McCall fail. At Crimson Lights, Victoria guesses her mother invited her to get coffee to suss out her mood before they head to the office. She says she's fine. Nikki asks, "So you have accepted his decision?" Victoria has accepted that her father has come back to run his company, but she won't be thrilled about it. Nikki muses about her requesting a meeting with Nick and guesses she's going to try and talk him into coming back to Newman as an ally. Victoria doubts Nick will change his mind. Nikki thinks she'll still try because it benefits her. She wonders if Nick even knows if Victor is going to be CEO again. Victoria says he didn't hear it from her. He hasn't returned her calls. She needs Nick as an ally, and it's in his best interests to heed her concerns. When Nick hears what Victor is doing, she's sure he'll agree with her. Nikki reminds Victoria it's her father's choice. Victoria warns it could be strenuous and bad for his health. Nikki confides that he's worried about his health too, but Victor knows his own limitations. Victoria wonders what she has to do to convince her that her concerns are valid. What does she have to do to get her mother on her side? In her suite, Sally thinks about the kiss with Adam. A knock comes at the door. It's Nick. He pulls her into his arms and closes the door. After sex, Sally tells Nick that was quite a homecoming. She tells him his flowers were beautiful and asks to hear all about his trip. Nick first wants to hear about her new company and tells her how smart her business plan is. "You're amazing." Sally sighs that it's all coming together and she's very grateful for him making this a reality. Nick teases her about taking so long to let him back her. Sally now sees all the possibilities and can't wait to make it a reality. Nick asks how everything else was when he was gone. Did Adam bother her? Sally tells Nick that she saw Adam while he was away, and he claims to want to move forward without seeking revenge. He sounded sincere. Nick will believe it when he sees it and states that it doesn't concern him or Sally. He's done with it. Sally isn't sure she believes Nick's cavalier attitude. She suspects that deep down he's worried how Adam's actions will affect his sister and his dad. Be honest. Do you regret not staying at Newman, or are you just doing all that to prove a point to your dad? At Lily's penthouse, she and Davin get on a video call with Jill, who wants to know what they found out. Lily says all they know is that the person wants to remain anonymous for now. Jill complains that at best this is annoying. I don't even know what the worst would be. She fumes about Victor making a move to sell without consulting her. They have no idea what this investor's intentions are. This is not good. Jill has no doubt that Victor's loving her, squirming, wondering who this person is. If it were Tucker, that would be taking things too far. She decides it's time to speak to Victor herself. At Newman, Victor tells Nate that Adam has asked to work his way up from the bottom at the company. Nate is skeptical. He seems destined to revert to form. Historically, he's never played by the rules. Why believe he can do it this time? Nate sums up that Adam's behavior can be a bit frustrating. Victor wants to believe that Adam is capable of changing. Nate points out he recently resorted to blackmail to get what he wants. Victor complains that his other son, Nick, abandoned Newman yet again. Nate imagines it's difficult having his sons disappoint him this way. Victor sighs, it is. He hopes Nick will return one day and Adam will stop feeling like an outsider. Nate can relate. He felt like an outsider in his own family while at Chancellor Winters. Victor muses, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. He wants Nate to help Adam and encourage him while he figures out his path. Nate isn't sure that's possible as Adam wouldn't be receptive. Victor's sure Nate can find a way. Nate argues that they've had numerous flare-ups in the recent past. Victor believes he's honestly trying to turn things around. Nate doesn't share that frame of mind and Adam knows it. Victor supposes there's always the chance he's playing them for fools. Nate guesses he wants him to be Adam's friend if he's being sincere, and keep a close eye on him if he's not. At the club, Jack knows Adam would like to set things right with his father and convince everyone he's changed. Maybe doing him this little favor would be a step in the right direction. Adam smirks that he's not known for being that benevolent. Jack wants to hear more about his plans to change. Adam says it's simple really. I'm tired of letting anger and resentment be the driving force in my life, Jack. Jack's pleased. Good for you, he says before asking, what's the first step? Adam is starting at the ground floor at Newman and working his way up. Maybe along the way he'll find himself. Jack is impressed. Just then, Jack gets a text from Tracy asking him to come home right away. Jack tells Adam he has to go and asks to wrap this up. Adam asks if Tucker is really that much of a threat to him. Jack's convinced he's coming after Jabut. Adam says he'd hate to see someone like that take advantage of Jack. He'll give him the information with the understanding that if he needs help or support down the line, he can turn to him. What do you say? At Crimson Lights, Nikki feels caught between Victoria and Victor. Victoria urges her to talk to her father. Nikki worries he'll put too much pressure on himself. She cannot help her go after her father, however. Victoria insists that's not her intention. Nikki cannot side with her against Victor. Victoria argues they'd be doing what's best for her dad, and what's best for the company as well. Nikki knows when she feels cornered, she'll do everything she can to get what she wants. She warns her not to go after her father, which would end badly for everyone, especially you. In Sally's suite, Nick tells his girlfriend that Victor called and told him that he's taking over as CEO. He's had a lot of calls from Victoria, who likely wants him to stay on as her ally. Sally smirks. It never ends, does it? Nick chuckles. With my dad? Never. Sally can understand Nick wanting to step away, but also stabilize his family. Nick says Adam is the wild card. They speculate whether or not he's sincere. Sally thinks maybe he's trying to convince himself he can change. He could be tired and ready for something new. Nick argues that his brother thrives on chaos. Conflict is in his DNA. Nikki and Victoria arrive at Newman as Victor and Nate's meeting is breaking up. Victor says he has to go to a meeting at Society. Victoria asks if he needs her to join him. He just wants her to hold down the fort. He declares that he's crafted a press release and that Adam is returning to the company at the bottom rung of the ladder. Victoria appreciates him keeping her in the loop, but she thinks giving Adam another position is a big mistake. Victor intones, that's how things will be. And don't forget for a moment, no one's position in this company is secure. Nikki files out after Victor and Nate asks Victoria if she's okay. She reassures him and wants to know what he and her father were talking about. Nate says she won't believe it. Victor wants me to become Adam's new best friend. Nate explains that he wants him to offer Adam support under the guise of keeping an eye on him. Victoria can't believe her father is giving Adam another chance. He's never been sincere about bettering himself. He must have some kind of agenda. Nate guesses Victor suspects that and wants him to find out the truth. Victoria doesn't think it's a bad plan. At the club, Jack worries he's making a deal with the devil by giving Adam an IOU, but he's willing to risk it. Adam tells Jack to check his inbox soon and he'll have what he needs. Jack thanks him and leaves. In Sally's suite, she notices all the messages from Victoria on Nick's phone and urges him to call and see what she wants. He does. Victoria complains that she's been trying to get a hold of him and asks to meet. It's important. At Society, Victor gets on a video call from Jill, who complains about what he's pulled by selling his stake in Chancellor without warning. Victor says she could have called him herself in the first place, instead of sending Lily. He can't reveal who the investor is, but rest assured, she'll find out soon enough. Jack arrives at the Abbott house, where Tracy tells him everything is fine. She just wanted to get him back there without spoiling the surprise. Jack asks, "What's the surprise?" A voice says, "Hello, Jackie." Jack beams, "Mamie."